We are continuing to build out on our sustainability ambitions. This includes renewable energy across our operations, biodiversity, water management, the social way implementation. And it's all about putting a greater definition now to the pathways to operational carbon neutrality and then executing on those plans. The vast majority of our portfolio is now, in fact, future enabling products, and thereby expose us to those very key long-term demand themes, primarily those of a cleaner, a greener, and a more sustainable world. A world in which the population continues to grow, and that population needs homes, it needs food, it needs transport, and it needs a decent quality of life. Decarbonisation of our energy and transport systems will be highly minerals and metals intensive. Mining is the enabler of this transition to carbon neutrality. And because we are the enabler, that behooves us to be even more responsible with what we do and how we do it. In our case, we launched the Sustainability Mining Plan, or the Sustainable Mining Plan, back in 2018, and that incorporates a series of very challenging, very ambitious goals and targets, and we put that at the heart of all of the decisions that we make in the company, both big and small. These are not only ambitious in terms of carbon reduction, but also in terms of water usage, biodiversity, our engagement with and effectiveness of creating enduring value for local communities and all of our stakeholders. An integrated and holistic approach is absolutely fundamental to being successful in this space, in my view. Targeting carbon neutrality for our operations by 2040, very ambitious, absolutely. So is reaching 50% reduction in our Scope 3 emissions. But in fact, we could probably get to 80% reduction in our Scope 3 emissions if other sectors, particularly the steel sector, were on the same sort of pathway that we're on. So the point of all of this is, we're probably not going to be able to do this all on our own. Partnerships are going to be really important in terms of how we get there and how quickly we're going to get there. I think that it's okay to have these ambitious targets, and it's okay for us to play a leading role in convening all these partnerships to come up with solutions that are going to work in the long term. So it's not new, but I think it's really important for us to remember and as an industry to advocate for. Mining's challenges, whether they are operational, whether they're environmental, or whether they're social, we believe create the perfect environment for innovation. And therefore, with that, a whole lot of opportunity. Future smart mining has absolutely galvanized our operations safer in the first instance. Very important that that was an objective. But they also help us overcome those challenges that I spoke about a little bit earlier in terms of water availability, lower ore grades, increasing energy requirements, and in terms of reducing our overall environmental footprint, and in reducing capital intensity and therefore operating costs in the long run. Now, NewGen is our most recent success story of this innovation program. In May, we launched our NewGen zero-emission haulage solution. And for those of you that might have missed it, that is a 2 megawatt hydrogen-powered ultra-class mine haul truck. That's 220 tons of truck, which when fully laden will carry another 290 tons of hard rock or waste in real hard mining conditions. This is part of an end-to-end process which incorporates both the production of green hydrogen and the refueling solution and infrastructure that's required to service it. It is a world first, and I reckon probably at least 2 years ahead of anything else in this space. So what does that really mean for us as a business? Or the key benefits of that to us would be, for every conventional truck that we have, we would reduce 3,000 litres of diesel per truck per day for every unit that was substituted with this. That would then mean we could eliminate between 50 and 70% of our Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions at all of our open pit mines if a solution such as this was rolled out across the whole of the business. And just making it very real, an example of replacing the entire fleet at Mogalakwena would be the equivalent of removing 80,000 cars off the road. So this is a proof of concept that we're now developing further, and it's being tested out again at Mogalakwena with the rollout of our first units possible by as early as 2025. You will have heard we also recently announced that we're bringing together NewGen with our first mode partners who were partnered with us in the development of this technology and in the creation of NewGen. And the idea here is to accelerate the development and the commercialization of this technology and do it in a way that it extends to beyond mining too. This will allow strategic third parties to co-invest, and that will help us to drive scale and support broader decarbonisation objectives that will indeed benefit the potential of this clean technology. It also means that we won't need to put our full balance sheet to work for all of this technology. There are others that will come into this game with us, help us accelerate it, and help us develop it. Assuming that we progress as planned, we will replace our global fleet, which is currently in the order of 400 trucks, with hydrogen or hydrogen equivalent type vehicles over the next decade or so. Now, while technology is really, really exciting and something that the whole sector is looking at, where I believe we are different is in our approach and in how we think we play a greater role in society as a result of the work we do in mining. In March, we announced a groundbreaking partnership with EDF Renewables to develop a regional renewable energy ecosystem in Southern Africa, and that will provide us with 100% of our energy requirements there through renewables. That would be a 3 to 5 gigawatt new energy capacity that's created in South Africa. Again, a hugely, hugely ambitious piece of work, and not one that is completely within our gift to deliver alone. But a great example, I believe, of the difference that we can make when we think about how we can leverage our own capabilities and the convening power that we have to try and resolve some of the world's most difficult blockages. What we're hoping to pull off here is construction of on-site solar plants and off-site wind farms, and these would help us to reduce our Scope 2 emissions and provide the foundation for green hydrogen production. And that would not only power our haul trucks, but the other kit that we have on the mine, and potentially create many other economic opportunities in the region, while also helping to support the energy requirements of the whole country, improve the resilience of the local grid, and drive a wider decarbonisation of the economy as a whole, which we know today is completely reliant on thermal coal. And this is more than just about energy. This could unlock, as I said, much bigger opportunities in terms of hydrogen corridors, transport routes, supply chain infrastructure that would serve not only us, but South Africa or Southern Africa really well. That is what big mining companies of the future should be doing, and that is what I would like us to continue to be in the forefront of. It is a big ambition, but we're up for it.